right, so we are technically less than 12 hours until the update goes ahead and releases, but thankfully, because of the developers, I've gone ahead and gotten an opportunity to go ahead and share with you guys the update early. Now, I am apparently getting jockeyed right now, which means that this guy is literally just handing me chicken jockey after chicken jockey. I don't even, okay, I'm done accepting them. I'm done accepting them. Either way, like I was saying, you guys can probably see that there is a lot of things to sort of go over right now, starting obviously with the chicken zombie, aka the chicken jockey. Now, as you guys can see right here on the right hand side, this is what it looks like. And the passive ability on this is actually pretty interesting. Every 29 minutes, there's a 20.40% chance a nearby fruit becomes zombified. On top of that, it also increases the egg hatch speed by 10%, or I guess if you want to be more specific, 10.20%. Now, the reason that I am mentioning this pet first is because it's probably one of the very first things that you're going to get your hands on once the update drops, because I believe, as far as I'm aware, you actually get this whenever the update finally does go live, just completely for free. So I sort of wanted to open up with that, since I know a lot of people were extremely excited about it. Now, before we jump into all of the plans, as well as all of the cool little events that are going on, and of course, even brand new gears, I do want to go over really quickly the brand new inventory system. It's actually really good and honestly has been super useful the entire time that I've been inside the test server. So at the very top over here, we have all items, so you can see everything inside of your inventory. Then we have seeds, fruits, gears, as well as pets. So it organizes everything very, very well. It just makes it extremely easy. Another thing that I also have noticed, which is just sort of like a little minor thing, but if I was to go ahead and type in, for example, a nightstaff, right? If I go ahead and pull out my nightstaff, place it down or whatever, and my inventory ends up closing, when I reopen my inventory, it's still saved to nightstaff. So I don't actually have to go ahead and retype it over and over again, like how you would right now in the live servers. It's sort of like a double-edged sword, kind of. Okay, buddy, way to stand in front of me on the camera. But like I was saying, it's sort of like a double-edged sword, mainly because it can be great so that way when you are placing down multiple things or you want to swap between, I don't know, maybe just different staffs, since there is technically different staffs in the game now, which we will get into that in just a little bit. Nothing really too major there. Some of you might find that as a major addition. Others of you just might not care at all about the inventory, but I thought I'd go ahead and squeeze that in. Now, the next thing that you'll probably notice here is the new crops. Now, there is two brand new ones on this side, being the moon melon as well as the blood banana. Both of these are available inside of the shop whenever a blood moon is active. To my knowledge, a blood moon happens every 3 hours. And within that time span, you're going to have access to this shop. And on top of that, you will also have the chance of getting blood-lit fruits all around. If you notice, these bananas here are blood-lit. So are some of these cocoas over here, or cacao. I think I'm saying that right. I don't really know. But yeah, if I search in my inventory, you'll notice right here, blood-lit moon glow. That's what it looks like. But as I was mentioning before, aside from being able to buy both of these seeds inside of that blood moon shop, you can also buy some of these crates, which are called mysterious crates. And technically speaking, they're not really usable right now. Like, you can go ahead and place them down, but I strongly suggest that you guys do not place them down, because unfortunately you can't get rid of them or move them once they have been placed. And if you notice at the timer right up there at the top that says cosmetic update, these crates will not be able to be opened for another week. That is because the cosmetic update is not until next week, which is a little bit weird. I'm not sure why they added that into the Blood Moon shop now, but I mean, it is what it is. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be really cool to get like things to go ahead and decorate our entire plot here and, add some really cool things. But I'm gonna be honest, man, I hope that with also this cosmetic update, we end up getting some more plots to expand our farm, because right now in the live servers, my farm is an absolute mess. So now let's move on to the next thing that you can also purchase inside of this Blood Moon shop, which I will be showing you guys what it looks like once the Blood Moon actually begins. But right now I'm just sort of showing you the individual stuff. But basically over here we have another one of those staffs, like I mentioned before, called a star collar. Now, to my knowledge, this actually goes ahead and works very similar to like a lightning rod, for example, where you would go ahead and, for example, place a lightning rod right here, and it would increase the chances of lightning hitting, specifically on this blood banana. Well, for the star collar, if I went ahead and placed it, I don't know, right over here, for example, when a starfall event starts, there's a higher probability that that star is going to land on these crops right here. pretty basic stuff. I'm sure that you guys fully understand that. I actually haven't gotten anything that has the Starfall mutation on it, so unfortunately I can't show you what that looks like. But now this is where things get pretty interesting, because at the time that I'm recording this, the test server is public for everyone to go ahead and play, but there is sort of a couple of things that haven't been implemented. Like, for example, when this blood moon does start, it's going to go ahead and pop up the shop right over here, and inside of there you'll be able to get all of these things that I just showed you, on top of the fact that you'll also be able to get an exclusive egg as well as a seed pack. In my inventory here, I have all of the pets. Some of these you can get from the eggs, and other of them you actually purchase individually inside of the blood moon. Like, for example, the blood kiwi is, I believe, like 60 mil, or it might be 20 mil, something like that. Then there's also the blood hedgehog, which can also be purchased individually. And then, of course, the blood owl. So all three of these pets are not inside of an egg. They can be purchased individually with cash. On the flip side, these are the pets that are going to be in this so-called new egg. We have the red giant ant, a red fox, a brown mouse, which is for some reason extremely adorable to me. I have no idea why, as well as a squirrel, which again looks really, really cool. Now I'll show you guys what those passives are in just a second. I want to move into something that's pretty cool, and it's over here at the seed shop. A lot of you have probably already seen in the background some of these beanstalks that are all the way around. So if we come over here to the shop and scroll all the way to the bottom, there is now a new rarity in the game called Prismatic. I'm going to be honest, I have not seen this spawn a single time for me, so unfortunately, I cannot tell you what the price is, but for Robux, it is 715. Thankfully, I do have a beanstalk that I can go ahead and plant, which I've been waiting this entire time to go ahead and plant it, just so that we can do it together here. So let's go ahead and place this down. I have some watering cans that were given to me as well. Let's go ahead and drop that down. Just drop a bunch of it. And there goes my beanstalk. It is now officially growing. And what I'm going to do now is just place down some sprinklers so that way we can get the ball rolling on this. See, like in this situation, not losing my search is actually great for placing down sprinklers, because normally I would have to search sprinkler over and over again. So this is actually amazing. Now coming over here to the gear shop, unfortunately, the item that I wanted to show you guys is not in here anymore. So they may have postponed that maybe for next week. Kind of unfortunate. I was sort of excited about that, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm able to even talk about it since it's not in there right now. So that is a bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead now and check out some of these passives while we wait for our beanstalk to go ahead and produce something there. All right, so let's start off with the red giant ant. So let's take a look here. So it says 5.13% chance harvested crops duplicate. Rarer crops have a lower chance to duplicate, 5.13% extra chance for fruit type crops to duplicate. That's pretty cool. So I'm sort of noticing a pattern where a lot of these blood pets, and I'm calling them that because they are from the Blood Moon shop, they all sort of have like these double stacked passives, which is pretty cool. But let's pick him up now, and let's move on to the Blood Owl. Passive on the Blood Owl is just all active pets gain an additional 0.53 XP per second, labeled as a divine pet. So there you go. That's that. Next up, we've got the squirrel. This little guy right here does 2.53% chance to not consume the seed when planting. Rare seeds have lower chance to recover. Yo, wait, that's actually fire. I don't know if I'd have it all the time down, but as a temporary pet to have, actually pretty good. I mean, it's only a 2.53% chance, but I'm willing to pick up a pet and, you know, drop this bad boy to give it a chance, you know? All right, next up is the blood hedgehog. It says grants all prickly fruit a 2.02x size bonus, grants all prickly fruit a 1.16x variant bonus. Also pretty good, to be honest. For a legendary pet, not really all that bad. Now, next one here on the list is the brown mouse. This one I am not expecting to be too crazy. It says every 8 minutes gain additional 758.90 bonus experience, grants additional 10.12% increase to player jump height. Okay, I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess. I can see how this could be pretty useful to getting around, you know, especially if your entire farm is like really, really crowded. This could be pretty useful. But again, another one of those pets that would be just sort of like temporary. Definitely not something that I would keep down on my farm at all times. Now, finally, we have the red fox. This little guy right here says every 9, basically 10 minutes, goes to another player's random crop, tries to get a seed from it, and gives it to you. Rare seeds have less chance. Yo, nah, this is actually 1,000 times better than the raccoon. I would rather have this than the raccoon. What? I'm not gonna lie, dude. A lot of these pets, I just had them in my inventory. I haven't really looked at them too much. So this is actually blowing my mind right now. That's insane, bro. Still no beanstalks, unfortunately. Actually, wait, I think we have one over there. But let me put down some more sprinklers here. Trying to get some pretty crazy stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is one that just spawned right over here. Yeah, so there we go. Beanstalk. This is what it looks like right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab some of these base ones. Like, for example, we'll grab some of these melons that don't have any, and we'll grab some of these bananas that also don't have any, and I'll go sell them so that way you guys can get a general idea what the sell value is, even though obviously it's going to be different, you know, based off of how big it is, what mutation it has, and so forth. But right here, we've got ourselves a moon melon 10 kg. If we go ahead and sell this one, it sells for 27k, so nothing crazy. Over here, we got a blood banana, 1.69 kg for this one. Sell value on this is 7k. And then, of course, we have the beanstalk, which is a 22 kg. This one is going to sell for 99k, and that is just sort of base value. You know, no wet, no shock, no chilled, frozen, rainbow, none of that crazy stuff. So I actually just joined another server here, and dude, Mystical just stole from this guy, dude. But yeah, if you notice, this guy's beanstalk has a bunch of different ones. Actually pretty cool. Now, honestly, man, the last thing to really show you guys is just really the blood moon and obviously the starfall event. So I guess we'll wait maybe like the next 11 minutes or so, see if this starts up, and then we'll be right back. All right, so nighttime is about to begin. I did want to show you guys that I ended up getting a celestial cacao. I still don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but this is what it looks like right here. It's kind of like orange, actually pretty cool. But yeah, unfortunately, it's nighttime, but still no blood moon. Not sure if it's actually still set to every 3 hours and they took it off from the 10 minutes. So I might not actually be able to show you guys the shop itself, but I did show you everything that's pretty much in it. All right, so I was actually in the middle of trying to get a blood moon to start up here, but going back to the celestial mutation that I showed you guys on the cacao over here, this is the mutation that you get from the starfall event. So just wanted to go ahead and point that out. I guess maybe one happened while I was AFK in here earlier and I didn't even realize, but now it's just a matter of waiting for this blood moon so that way I can get you guys this video as quick as I can. I'm just getting a really bad feeling that this is just not gonna spawn in though. All right, so I pretty much just got confirmation that the blood moon shop still is showing those night seed packs as well as the night eggs, so there really is no point for me to wait for it. It's pretty straightforward. You guys have probably seen it a bunch already. In case you haven't, here's some footage. Basically, the shop comes out of the ground right there where I told you. Sky turns red. I know this is not the best quality. It was posted by Jandel, but this is basically what you're going to find inside of here. Like I told you guys, the individual pets, blood kiwi, blood hedgehog, and the blood owl, which we already went over. The mysterious crate, already showed that to you guys. And then, of course, the night egg as well as the seed pack, which I have been told that these are sort of placeholders and they're going to be replaced. Don't know how legitimate that is, so take that very, very, very lightly. Also, this crimson vine seed as well as the moon melon seed, it's very possible that it is in the game and maybe these seeds actually cycle through. Because personally, when that went ahead and spawned for me, I did get the melon. Instead of getting the crimson vine, I ended up getting the blood banana. So it's possible that maybe those two seeds sort of like interchange between a bunch of them, or maybe they decided to last minute change it. Either way, man, I'm going to go ahead and push this video out for you guys. I will probably have a full guide going over literally every single brand new thing as soon as the update drops. If you guys are interested, make sure to subscribe, drop a like on this video. Of course, we will be live as soon as this update goes up. As a matter of fact, we'll probably be live an hour or two before it even goes live. So make sure that you guys join in. I will see you then. That's going to do it for this video. Like always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.